Narrator. From the moment we wake up, we're often thinking about how we'll get from one place to another. How do you travel to work, school, or meet friends? Transportation is a huge part of our daily lives, and discussing it is a fantastic way to connect with others, share experiences, and even ask for directions. This skill allows you to communicate your daily routines and understand the journeys of your friends and colleagues. That's why, in today's episode of the English Learning Podcast's Beginner Series, we're taking a deep dive into talking about transportation. You'll learn essential vocabulary for different types of vehicles, discussing travel times, and expressing your preferences for getting around. Mastering these simple yet crucial phrases will significantly boost your conversational ability in daily life. In this extensive episode, you're about to hear a natural and easy-to-follow conversation between two friends, Alex and Ben. They'll explore various ways people travel, discuss their daily commutes, and share their experiences with different modes of transport. They'll use clear, simple English with repetition, making it easy for you to understand and start talking about your own journeys confidently. Following their discussion, we'll have a short, interactive practice session to help you actively use these new words and phrases yourself. Listen closely to their simple English and the helpful vocabulary they use. Get ready to expand your English skills and navigate conversations about travel. Alex: Hi Ben. How are you today? I had a long commute to work this morning and it made me think about how we all travel. How do you usually go to work, Ben? What kind of transportation do you use? Ben: Hi Alex. I'm doing well, thanks. Commutes can be long, I agree. I usually go to work by bus. The bus stop is close to my house and the bus takes me directly to my office. It's quite convenient. What about you, Alex? How do you usually go to work? Alex: Going by bus sounds convenient, Ben, especially if it's direct. I usually go to work by car. I drive my car every day. It takes me about 30 minutes. I like having my own car because it's flexible. Do you like going by bus, Ben? Is it fast or slow? Ben: Going by car gives you a lot of freedom, Alex. 30 minutes is a decent commute. Yes, I generally like going by bus. It's usually not very fast, especially during rush hour, but it's okay. Gives me time to read. Do you ever get stuck in traffic when you drive, Alex? Alex: It's good that you can read on the bus, Ben. That makes the time pass. Yes, I often get stuck in traffic when I drive, especially in the mornings. Can be very frustrating and make my commute longer. Sometimes it adds an extra 15 or 20 minutes to my journey. It's really not fun when the traffic is heavy. How long does your bus ride take usually? Ben: Getting stuck in traffic sounds very frustrating, Alex. I'm glad I don't have to deal with that every day. My bus ride usually takes about 40 minutes. So it's a bit longer than your car ride without traffic. But because I don't drive, I don't worry about parking or traffic jams. Do you ever take the train, Alex? For longer distances or even in the city? Alex: 40 minutes by bus sounds reasonable, Ben, and avoiding parking is a big plus. Yes, I sometimes take the train, but mostly when I go to the airport for travel. It's quicker than driving in city traffic and finding parking at the airport. For example, to the airport it takes about 20 minutes by train, but 45 minutes by car. The train is much faster for that specific trip. Do you ever take the train, Ben? For long journeys or maybe for special trips? Ben: Taking the train to the airport is a smart choice, Alex. Definitely saves time and stress. Yes, I sometimes take the train, especially when I go to visit my family in another city. The train is usually very fast and comfortable for long distances. For example, to my sister's city, it takes about 3 hours by train, but 4 to 5 hours by car. I can relax, read, or even work on the train. Do you ever ride a bicycle, Alex? For fun or for short trips? Alex: The train for long distances sounds very comfortable and fast, Ben. 3 hours is much better than 4 to 5 hours by car. Being able to relax or work on the train is a great advantage. I don't ride a bicycle very often, but I sometimes use a rental bike in the city if I'm just going a short distance, like to the bookstore or the coffee shop. It's convenient for quick trips when I don't want to drive or wait for a bus. Do you ever ride a bicycle, Ben? Ben: Rental bikes are very practical for short city trips, Alex. They save time and are good for the environment. Yes, I sometimes ride a bicycle. I like to ride my bike in the park on weekends for exercise. It's a nice way to get around when I'm not in a hurry, and I love the feeling of fresh air. I also sometimes cycle to the grocery store if it's not too far, maybe a 10-minute ride. Do you ever walk to places, Alex? For daily errands or just for pleasure? Alex. Riding a bicycle in the park for exercise and cycling to the grocery store sounds very refreshing and practical, Ben. It's great to be active. Yes, I also walk to places quite often, especially when I go to restaurants or cafes near my apartment. It's nice to walk and see the neighborhood, and it's good for my health. I walk about 20 to 30 minutes every day. Sometimes if the weather is really nice I walk to work, but that takes over an hour. What is your favorite type of transportation for a long journey, Ben? Like to another country or a very far city? Ben. Walking around the neighborhood and even to work on a nice day is a great way to explore and stay healthy, Alex. Over an hour is a long walk but good exercise. For a long journey like to another country, my favorite type of transportation is the airplane. It's the fastest way to travel long distances, even if it can be expensive. I like looking out the window when the plane takes off, and I love the feeling of arriving in a completely new place. It makes the world feel smaller. What about you, Alex? What's your favorite type of transportation for a long journey? Alex. An airplane is definitely the fastest way to travel for long journeys, Ben. Looking out the window during takeoff is very exciting, and arriving in a new place is the best feeling. My favorite type of transportation for a long journey is also the airplane. I love traveling to new countries and experiencing different cultures, and airplanes make it possible to go far. I find the whole process of flying, even with security, quite exciting. Do you think public transportation is good in our city, Ben? Are the buses and trains reliable? Ben. Yes, airplanes open up the world to us, Alex. They are truly amazing and make global travel possible. I think public transportation in our city is quite good. The buses are frequent, usually every 10 to 15 minutes, and the train system is efficient, especially during peak hours. It's generally reliable, though sometimes buses can be late if there's heavy traffic. The fares are also quite affordable. What do you think, Alex? Is public transportation good in our city? Alex, I agree, Ben. Public transportation in our city is quite good. The bus network is extensive, covering almost every area, and the train is efficient, especially the express lines. It helps many people commute every day without a car, which is good for the environment and reduces traffic. I think it's a strong point of our city. Do you ever use a taxi or a ride-sharing app, Ben? For example, if you're in a hurry or it's late at night. Ben, an extensive bus network and efficient train system are definitely signs of good public transportation, Alex. It's great for the environment and reduces traffic congestion. Yes, I sometimes use a taxi or a ride-sharing app like Uber when I'm in a hurry, or if it's late at night and there are no more buses or trains. It's more expensive, usually 2 or 3 times the bus fare, but it's very convenient and safe, especially when I'm alone at night. Do you ever use a taxi or a ride-sharing app, Alex? Alex. Yes, taxis and ride-sharing apps are so convenient for urgent trips or late nights, Ben. Safety at night is very important. Yes, I also sometimes use a taxi or a ride-sharing app when I need to get somewhere fast, like to an important meeting, or if I'm going out with friends and don't want to drive. It's also very useful if I have a lot of bags and it's difficult to take the bus. What is the most common transportation in our city, Ben? What do most people use? Ben. Taxis and ride-sharing apps are definitely lifesavers in those moments, Alex. Especially with many bags. The most common transportation in our city is probably the car. Many people own cars and drive to work or for errands, and families use them for weekend trips. You see cars everywhere on the roads. But buses are also very common, especially for students and people who live far from train stations. What do you think is the most common transportation in our city, Alex? Alex, I agree with you, Ben. The most common transportation in our city is probably the car. You see many cars on the roads every day, causing a lot of traffic during peak hours. But public buses are also very popular for those who don't have a car or want to save money on gas and parking. Many people also use scooters or motorcycles for shorter distances because they can get through traffic faster. Do you think walking is an important way of transportation, Ben? Even for daily short trips? Ben. Walking is often overlooked, but it's so fundamental, Alex. It's great to see people using scooters for traffic. Yes, I absolutely think walking is an important way of transportation. It's healthy, free, and good for the environment. For short distances like to the local shop, school, or a friend's house nearby, it's often the best way to travel. You get exercise, fresh air, and you can really see the city. Do you prefer walking or taking a short bus ride for a distance of, say, 15 minutes? Alex, walking is definitely healthy and free, Ben. It's important to remember its value. For a distance of 15 minutes, I would usually prefer walking. It's nice to get some exercise, clear my head, and it's relaxing. I only take the bus for longer distances, or if the weather is bad like heavy rain or extreme heat. Walking helps me stay active during the day. Do you think bicycles should be used more for transportation in our city, Ben? Why or why not? Ben, preferring to walk for 15 minutes is a great choice, Alex. It's healthy and pleasant. Yes, I absolutely think bicycles should be used more for transportation in our city. They are good for the environment because they don't produce pollution, they reduce traffic congestion on the roads, and they are great for health and fitness. Our city needs more dedicated bicycle lanes to make it safer and more attractive for cyclists. It would make our city cleaner and healthier. What do you think about motorcycles or scooters for transportation, Alex? Are they good for city travel? Alex, using bicycles more for transportation for environmental, traffic, and health benefits is a very strong argument, Ben. More bicycle lanes would be great. Motorcycles and scooters are common in many places, especially in Asia and some European cities. I think they are fast and convenient for navigating crowded streets and getting through traffic quickly, especially for short to medium distances. However, they can also be dangerous if drivers are not careful or if roads are not well maintained. So, I think safety is very important for them. They are very fuel efficient too. Have you ever traveled by boat, Ben? Like a ferry, a small boat, or a cruise ship? Ben, motorcycles and scooters offer speed and convenience, but safety is certainly paramount, Alex. A very valid point, and being fuel efficient is a big plus. Yes, I have traveled by boat a few times. I took a ferry to an island once and it was a very nice experience. It was calm and relaxing and I could see the city from the water as we left the port. I also went on a small boat trip on a lake with my family for a picnic. It was peaceful. Have you ever traveled by boat, Alex? What kind of boat and where? Alex, traveling by ferry and a small boat trip on a lake both sound very relaxing, Ben. Seeing the city from the water is a unique perspective. Yes, I have traveled by boat a few times too. I went on a river cruise once and it was very interesting to see the city from the water, especially at night with all the lights. It was a tourist boat. I also took a small boat for fishing with my uncle in a small river near my village. It was a very quiet trip. What is the most interesting or unusual mode of transportation you have ever used, Ben? Ben, a river cruise at night sounds beautiful, Alex. And fishing from a small boat sounds very peaceful. The most interesting mode of transportation I have ever used was a cable car in the mountains. It went very high up over deep valleys and tall trees and the view was incredible. Felt like flying, but it was slow and smooth. I was a bit scared at first, but then it was amazing. What about you, Alex? What is the most interesting or unusual mode of transportation you have ever used? Alex, a cable car in the mountains with an incredible view sounds truly amazing, Ben. It must have felt like flying even if it was a bit scary at first. The most interesting or unusual mode of transportation I have ever used was a rickshaw in an old city. It's a small open vehicle pulled by a person or a bicycle. It was very slow and traditional, but it was a unique and interesting way to see the narrow streets and old buildings up close. Felt like stepping back in time. Do you think transportation will change a lot in the future, Ben? What new things do you expect? Ben, a rickshaw sounds like a very unique and traditional way to experience a city's narrow streets, Alex. It must have been memorable and a good way to see old buildings. Yes, I absolutely think transportation will change a lot in the future. I think we will see more electric cars everywhere, and maybe even self-driving cars that don't need a driver. I also imagine new types of fast trains that go very far very quickly. Perhaps even flying cars or drones for short trips in big cities. It will be very exciting to see how it develops. What do you think about transportation in the future, Alex? Alex, Electric cars, self-driving cars, and even flying vehicles. The future of transportation sounds incredibly exciting and transformative, Ben. Yes, I also believe transportation will change a lot in the future. I think public transport will become even more efficient and connected, with smart systems that tell us exactly when the next bus or train will arrive. We might have faster, greener ways to travel long distances like Hyperloop systems. I also hope for more focus on sustainable options like better walking and cycling paths in cities. It will be a cleaner and more efficient world for travel. This has been a great chat about transportation. I've really enjoyed hearing about your bus commutes, your train trips, and your cable car ride. Ben, yes, it has been, Alex. I've really enjoyed hearing about your car drives, your use of rental bikes, and your unique rickshaw experience. It's fun to talk about how we all move around and what we hope for in the future of travel. Alex, it definitely is, Ben. It makes me think about all the journeys we make every day and how important it is to have good ways to travel. Well, it was really nice talking to you about transportation. I should probably get ready for my evening run now. Ben, of course, Alex. I understand completely. Enjoy your run. It was really nice catching up with you and talking about all these different ways to travel, from daily commutes to exciting adventures. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Alex, you too, Ben. Maybe we can explore some new transportation methods together someday. See you around soon. Ben, see you, Alex. Practice session. Your turn to speak. Narrator. All right, it's your turn to practice. Let's talk about transportation. Listen to my question, then say your answer aloud. Try to use the new phrases you heard today. How do you usually go to work or school? Say your method of transport now. Good. Now, what is your favorite type of transportation for a long journey, like to another country? Excellent. One more. Do you think public transportation is good in your city? Answer with yes or no and a short reason. Narrator. Fantastic work. Now just quickly repeat these 3 important phrases after me. I go by bus. Like the airplane. Public transportation is good. Narrator. You're doing great. Keep practicing talking about transportation in English. Conclusion. Narrator. Wow, you've done an incredible job today. You just practiced a very common and practical topic. Talking about transportation in English. You can now confidently discuss different modes of travel, describe your daily commute, express your preferences for getting around, and even talk about future travel. This is a tremendous step in your English journey. Remember to use these new phrases every day. The next time you're going somewhere or someone asks how you travel, try to use these expressions in English. Every time you practice, you're building real confidence step by wonderful step. Keep learning, keep speaking. Don't miss our next lesson in the beginner series. Goodbye for now.